Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Lights, although it is a Tuesday night. Obviously, yesterday was a holiday.
Because we believe in America.
That's right, America. Alongside me tonight, you can see they're both so beautiful. Travis Ford and Courtney Mims doing the
Put knuckles to your chin like picture day.
Yeah, picture day.
Hey, when you're complimenting how beautiful we are, I have to,
You guys appreciate both of you taking a little time out of your Tuesday night to hang out and talk some.
I can't believe I made it back in time.
You did. You made it back.
A round trip to Central Arkansas today.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to move back. We're moving back to Conway, so I'm gonna walk my white ass back across 8 Mile. But
that's where my fiance's family lives. Like my future mother-in-law and father-in-law live in Conway. So
nice.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I love Conway. We go all the time. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, for anyone hopping in here, make sure you like the show, share the content, hit the subscribe button if you're new enough, and follow these guys on Twitter. Courtney Mims. My gosh, I don't even feel like I have to drop your Twitter. I feel like you're gonna have the saturation in comments. Like they probably already all follow you, but you guys know what to do. Follow her, and of course, Dank Broyles over here, Travis Ford. You still go? That's still your name.
No, I made that name so long ago, dude.
It's not Dank anymore.
No, it still is.
Okay.
No, I think it is. I think it is because I think I follow you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well,
I just haven't. I'm not gonna change it because people follow me, so I'm just thinking whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like my email, Tyzilla83.
Yep.
I've had that email for 22 years. And I get made fun of when I go to like the bank or something or whatever, and they need your email address. And I'm like, oh God. It is.
Dude, I just thought of a great new meme to make.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Courtney, you've been missing Discord, but I make a living off of making fun of Ty in Discord.
No, I know you do. I know you do. It's actually one of my favorite pastimes to just like jump in randomly and go, oh, that's another meme. Great. I'll save that one for later.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and it's daily, and it's borderline harassment.
Okay.
We've got a lot to discuss. Obviously, we're going to get into this Karter Knox stuff. We're going to talk a little Adou Thiero. My gosh, Sam Pittman, JJ Andrews. The list goes on and on. So let's go ahead and get started with the first bit of news, which is the Karter Knox returning. This is you guys know where I'm at with this. This is absolutely huge. We know in the NCAA tournament, he was a big part of Arkansas's, ability to advance to get to the Sweet 16, scoring 20 against Texas Tech, 15 against St. John's, and a little minimized against KU, just 6 points. But obviously his transformation through the year was incredible. So with Knox returning, that's DJ Wagner, Trevon Brazile, Billy Richmond, and now Karter Knox coming back. That's a lot of playing time. That's a lot of production that's returning. Courtney, I want to get your thoughts first on just how big you think this is for Arkansas to get Karter Knox back.
Well, I think it's absolutely huge. I mean, you're not only looking at a guy who is integral, like you said, down the stretch, you gave his numbers there, averaging 13.7 points in those 3 NCAA tournament games, 5 rebounds a game as well. So that's huge, especially when you're talking about a guy that's like, okay, he keeps getting better and better and better. It's like, okay, we're seeing the progression of this freshman throughout the year. I never thought, and you guys know this, if you listen to Ask Mike, if you listen to any of the Big Trail Nation reports, I was told from the get-go he was returning. They said, especially when he was testing the NBA draft waters, people said, yeah, he's coming back. The scouts told me, yeah, they feel really confident he's returning. So I kind of was like, okay, I feel really confident he's returning then too. And that's what I've said for months now. It feels like months now that I felt like he was going to be back. Why this is big, and you guys know this, I'm not saying anything new here. If you're a fan of college basketball, what wins you championships? It's not how many freshmen you can bring in these days, how many, high caliber, whatever. It's retention. Mm-hmm. Keeping guys in your system with the transfer portal, with everything that we have right now in college athletics, it's hard to keep guys around at your program. And what that does for you, it doesn't mean that those guys can't go to another program and succeed. It means that if you're able to keep guys around for longer than a year, it means that you're going to be able to develop them. You're going to be able to say, look, you have the experience of playing in the SEC. You have the experience of playing at a high caliber level, and you know my system. You know how I coach, and that's huge. So, I mean, I've talked to my dad about it so many times. I've said, what is the secret to success for winning a championship? And he always says the Nolan Richardson line. It takes a lot of luck, but it also takes guys knowing exactly what you need from them. That's what Karter Knox, Trevin Brazil, DJ Wagner, and Billy Richmond know. I mean, it's just they've been under Cal. DJ even gets a leg up, right? Because he stayed with Cal since Kentucky. So that's huge for this team. Retention. And you just now you go, wow, they're going to be able to build off of that Sweet 16 run.
That's huge. Yeah. And it feels like he was, the piece they wanted to get back. We knew that Boogie Fland was done. Like he was not going to be a Razorback one way or another next year. I think we felt pretty strongly about that. And then of course there is still the Adou Thiero talk, and we'll get to that in a minute.
I don't think Boogie needed to come back here. I think Florida's Courtney Heller doing pretty good. Y'all got Boogie. Y'all had Condon come back. It's pretty good down there.
Yeah, so not too bad. I mean, they needed a piece like Boogie, let's be honest, right? They needed him. That's why they were willing to say when he wanted to return to college basketball, which honestly, guys, wasn't so crazy. It wasn't so crazy. It was so funny. And, my dad's been coaching for now 35 plus years, right? And so he's been coaching all of his life, basically. And so I talk to him all the time about, what do you think? What do you think? And my dad said two things to me when, and you can go back and watch on Full Court Press. He felt like Boogie was going to return to college. He felt like the injury was not part of the plan ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he would benefit from returning to college. And I went, well, no, he's still showing up in mock drafts. I mean, he still has a good chance to get drafted. And my dad was like, no, he's going to benefit by returning to college. Cal didn't ever plan for Boogie to return, right? He never planned. Why? Because he brought in Darius Acuff. He would hope, I think he always thought, hey, maybe there's a chance to keep DJ Wagner around, right, for another season.
Yeah.
But he never planned on coaching Boogie a second year. He never did. So when he got injured, I think you bring up a really interesting point to this conversation of like, well, now he could return. And I think that was even running in Cal's mind and going, I don't know what to do with him if he does.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
think he'd have to change his whole offense.
Exactly. You absolutely, because you've never planned. I mean, think about it. He never planned to do that. And he was right to a never planned. Boogie is a incredible talent. Incredible. So he never planned to do that. So when Boogie goes in the offseason and goes, and don't think of it as like Boogie betrayed Arkansas. Don't think of it like that. It wasn't like that, because I'll tell you why. Boogie went to Coach Cal and said, look, what do I do? Right? What do I do here, Coach? Because I don't know if I want to go the NBA draft route right now. I want to come back and increase my stock. And, the injury was never part of the plan. So what do I do? And that's when you saw him hit the transfer portal. I think Coach Cal, as a player's coach, turned to him and said, Boogie, I don't know what we will do with you next year, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where you fit into this system. We're not going to say no to you if you want to come back. But if you want playing time, if you want to increase your draft stock, it may be better to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Boogie needs to be somewhere where he can be the man, kind of.
Well,
and I think he can definitely do that in Florida.
But that's what Florida said to him. That's what everyone told me Florida was pushing at him. Because I don't think Arkansas was completely out of the conversation here. I don't. Anyone who says that, I don't think is completely true. That Arkansas was 100% when Boogie left the draft. Oh, Arkansas is off the table. No, I never thought they were off the table. But where would Boogie fit in? How much money would he get from Arkansas? All of those are question marks, where if I'm Boogie and I'm going, okay, I love Coach Cal, I love this team, but what are my options here? Where am I going to get significant playing time and put myself in the best situation to go higher in the draft? this upcoming year, well, that's Florida. And
Yep.
Florida's going and saying, you're going to be one of the guys here. You're going to be the dude, right? And if I'm Florida pitching it, you're going to be the dude that gets us back to the Final Four and another national championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they certainly have that in their back pocket too. If there are any other...
right. I mean,
he may work better in their system too.
He might. He absolutely might. We'll see what happens with Boogie. I certainly think it's a good place for him to land. But he just did the opposite of me. He started at Arkansas and then went to Florida. And I'm like, nah, it's better if you start there and maybe end at Arkansas. I don't know.
That's funny. What is it true? So the belief, and I know we were talking about Karter Knox coming back, but Boogie do we know what he was offered, his NIL package to Florida? And if Arkansas did try to maybe counter it a little, maybe give him something similar to what he got last year, and maybe Florida upped it. Do you have any information on that?
I wouldn't say I have concrete information on it, but I do believe that I don't believe that Arkansas just let him go quietly into the night, bye, see you, have fun at Florida. No, I'm sure he had a conversation with Arkansas staff and went, look, here's what I've got. Because he's still close with Cal. Cal's not going to be like, go, bye, see you later. Cal's a players coach. He's going to take care of his players. And so up until, Boogie decided to do what he did, he's still one of Cal's players and still was a former player of Cal's, right? Yeah. And so Cal probably gave him some advice. Cal probably talked to him. Cal probably said, you know what, Boogie, if you really want to come back here, maybe this is what we can offer you. Okay. Yeah. Now, do I think it was what Florida offered him? Absolutely not. Florida needs him. Arkansas does not. And I'm not saying that to be mean to Boogie. Florida needs a player like him. Arkansas's got way too many. So, to me, I think that was probably a part of the conversation too. And honestly, if Florida's willing to offer more, which I bet they did, if you need something, guys, you're gonna be willing to pay more for it, right? That's capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Like UCLA.
They certainly did that, did they not, with the Iamaleava brothers?
If you need something, you're willing to pay more. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's free market capitalism.
But what we wouldn't have got out of the portal? Karter Knox. We would have never got a Karter Knox out of the portal.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm super pumped he came back.
6'6", 230, baby. Bring it on. He's a mismatch.
Dude, physicality, bro.
I love it.
He is awesome. And you love the experience, right?
Oh, yeah.
That can't be, I'm telling you, that is so important in this day and age in college basketball for retention, to keep guys in your system, but also have that experience of playing in big time atmospheres, big time environments. I mean, if you're asking me, right? And even this is going into the Adou Thiero situation just a little bit here, right? If you ask me, going back to college is the way I would do it. I'd milk as much as I could at the college level and make my money and do all of that and then pursue my routes. Because if I can make money that way, then
how much is he going to get in comparison for a second round, even if he's early second round, versus what he's going to get in college anyway? So why not be somewhere you're familiar? Geez, can't talk. Familiar with the system. You know what I mean? You're already good with your teammates, the whole line, fan favorite. You're the man.
Yeah.
And you can make good money. Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, he's going to get deals. Let's be honest, guys. He's going to get more. He's going to get more than just the school's NIL package, right? Arkansas's Edge NIL package. He's going to get more than that, right? He's going to go out and get brand deals and all those things. He's up on a billboard here on I-49, right? He's up on a billboard with Morgan & Morgan.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, he's going to be a sensation here as well. And that's, to me, I'm like, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. My favorite thing about him is that he doesn't just bring in he was on a team last year. He was in the show last year. He was him and Billy are probably the biggest reason we beat St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, It's not just some guy who was riding the bench like, oh yeah, we're bringing it back for depth. Like, no, he was a big piece of it.
Absolutely. So then that brings us to Adou Thiero. What is, so 6'8", 220. I'm going to be real. I was looking at some mock draft boards. I don't know how many. I don't know that I saw him projected in the first round in any of them. I mean, maybe there was one a couple of weeks ago that had him up. Maybe it was like an NBC Sports page, but or the NBC Sports, or maybe it was Yahoo. I don't remember. But he's projected, it seems like, either at the back end of the first round or maybe the top end of the second round. Courtney, what are you hearing? What do you know on the situation? And are you hearing something different, that he is actually projected to go maybe a little higher?
No, I'm hearing the same thing as you guys, that he'll probably be a second rounder. And that's consistent with what's being put out, right? So that's consistent with what's being put out. What I have talked to, because again, this is just from what I've heard from scouts and different people involved in this situation, is that there's always a chance these guys can come back. I go back to what my dad said about Boogie Fland returning. He predicted Boogie Fland would return to college. And he also made a point that said, I think it would benefit Adou Thiero if he returned as well. He said that, he's like, I think he'll make more in college, and I think it would really benefit him if he returned. And so I kind of obviously talked about a little bit about that on Ask Mike this week, but something I've said to Mike so many times is that, look, I've heard consistent things from scouts that Adou Thiero and his family, he wants to be in the draft. He is committed to being in the NBA draft. Yes, he's so excited about being drafted, all of that stuff. He wants to start his professional career. And what I've heard on the other side of things, and why you might be hearing Adou Thiero could be back, and where all that got drummed up, is because of his agent side and his representation, who are going, do not close your doors, right? Do not shut any opportunities off, because if you fall in projections and, all of that, we have to keep an eye on everything. It might be beneficial to keep those doors open, right? It might be beneficial to have those doors not completely shut, right? And I go back to that quote that Thiero said. I've shut those, I wanted to shut those doors, but people around me want me to keep my options open. It's consistent with what people have told me, right? It's consistent with what those scouts have told me. I asked recently, hey, and I can't remember, was it Norlander who put it out there? Who put it out there that he might return? Was it Matt?
I think it was Norlander.
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But when that started coming out, right? Okay. He might come back. He might come back. And people got all excited. I went back to those same sources and I said, look, what are the odds? And they said, we still think it's really low that he will return. But there's always an opportunity, right? There's always a chance. And that chance was always there. We just don't think it's likely. So I'm on the camp of, I don't see it happening, but anything can happen, right? I'm not confident at all, but from what people have said to me, he is committed to staying in the draft.
Listen, Knox coming back was, for me, it's a tipping scale between like a Sweet 16 to an Elite 8, maybe Final Four caliber team. Just talking about like the caliber. Adou Thiero, it crashes the scale. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't look at Arkansas as a high potential Elite 8 being kind of and again, I know matchups matter. We're just talking about like the caliber of team that they would be, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you wouldn't like them as an Elite 8 Final Four, potentially playing for the Natty kind of team. And I know that sounds like bias, but you've already got the nuclear or you got the family, you got the band back together for the most part. And with Knox back, and then you added Adou Thiero to that mix, especially with how well this team was drumming, even when he wasn't on the floor at the end of the year. Let's not pretend like everything leading up to that point, he wasn't a major player. To bring that back, oh my, I don't know how you wouldn't favor Arkansas as at least a top 5, preseason, not that we care about rank, but as a legit title contender with Adou Thiero coming back?
You would say you would give them odds. Like if I'm doing Bet Saracen odds, I would 100% give them great odds if Adou Thiero came back. Will he again? I don't feel confident about it.
I don't think he's coming back.
I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope that the people telling me what they're telling me, I hope that somebody in his camp is like, you fell too much, go back to college. He's gonna make more at Arkansas. I'm just telling you right now, he's gonna make more at Arkansas. So
when does that window
not
close?
Wednesday.
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 Wednesday. So the deadline is May 28th. So that is Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So that's tomorrow.
So we're gonna find out, aren't we?
We gonna find out.
I think he stays in.
I think he stays in because here's the thing. It would have to be a last minute decision now we're talking about, right? We're talking about a last minute decision. Yak's already said what he was doing. Karter, there's other people they're making decisions. I don't know. Maybe it would be. A last minute decision. I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up here.
Really bad news tonight to be like, all right, I'm out of there.
But this is how this works, right? Like every time I go live, we get breaking news. So maybe, who knows? Maybe he does come out tonight because apparently he posted something on his Instagram, him in his Razorback jersey, and I don't know, someone was trying to make a big deal out of it on Twitter. But I'm with you guys. I think he stays in, but it would absolutely tip the scales. He would make more money. I agree. I don't see him, even with that athleticism, that high level, that almost borderline freak of nature athleticism that he has. I don't know that would be enough based on, I guess, through the NBA combine and everything and what we know right now. I don't know that he's in the first round. Again, I've not seen a single mock draft with him in the first round.
I have not either, and I've not been told that by any scouts. It's not like, hey, oh, wow, he's just going to be a sleeper pick or no. I mean, you can normally feel out from what they're telling you.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have said, it's so funny that even though they're like, we think he's committed to staying in the draft, but we could see a way for him to return because we think he's going to be, that's going to be a really successful route for him as well. You have to think about this. I mean, you put yourself in the shoes of these kids.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer, right? Like to come back, be the star, be one of the main parts of that team, possibly having the opportunity to win a national title in March Madness, not even win it all. Just maybe go to a Final Four and experience that. Yeah. I mean, that to me would be, oh my gosh.
Well, another year with Cal doesn't hurt anybody in that, like you said, in the system. Just get another year of development. I'm always a fan of coming back. I said that about J-Dub when he went pro. I still think he would have made more money had he come back, but he's doing all right in the NBA.
It seems like he's doing okay.
He's doing okay. Just a little bit okay.
Jordan Walsh, I think Walsh should have come back, but again, that ended up working out in his favor anyways.
Well, yeah, Walsh actually, insanely worked out in his favor, I was like, oh, he would benefit coming back for a year. He's not going to be much. And then like all of his, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys are just joining us, make sure you like the content, share the content, like the video, and of course hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Kyle wrote says Nick Smith should have come back. I mean, we could probably go down the line.
Yeah, we could do a whole show about this.
We really could, going all the way back to the 90s.
Yeah, who should have come back for another year at Arkansas? You could do it multiple sports kind of as well, I mean,
why did you come back, Darren McFadden? No way. Yeah, no, that actually he did all right, at least as far as the draft. Maybe not long term in the NFL, but he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so yeah, again, I'm with you guys. I don't see Thiero popping out of the draft. Sadly enough, I don't see him jumping up into the first round. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. For his sake, I really do. But for everyone else's sake, I hope that he, I don't know.
Yeah, selfishly, right? You're like, I kind of hope that'd be cool.
Just a little bit. Hey, speaking of Arkansas basketball, we got to talk just a minute about J.J. Andrews. With 3 Nike EYBL, I guess we're calling them sessions, and they play a total, I think it's 10 games. This dude is lighting it up, and this is against high caliber talent. This is against high 4 and 5 stars. I don't know a ton about this. That's just what I was told. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Blame my buddy Duke, who's filling me in on the EYBL. I know a little bit about it, but not a whole lot. But he's averaging close to 20 points a game, 5 boards, 2 assists. He's shooting like 61, right north of 61%. He's 50% from the outside, 13 of 26. He is lighting
in 3 games
up. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Jumped from 42 to 17 in the rankings. And I think that happened today.
I'm so glad people are like starting to notice him. Do you know what I mean? Like there are people like he is. I was talking to a friend the other day who covers high school basketball. It kind of in a different region, like more of New York and everything. Yeah. And they called me and they were like, "This JJ Andrews kid." I was like, "Glad you're on the train. Glad you're on the train. We've already been seeing this, you know."
Legacy Razorback. Watched his dad play when he was here on the offensive line for Houston Nutt back in the day. And it always pays off. Tim talked about that, you know, having a legacy guy commit and, you know, and you know, he's going to be a big part of that class. And that's a big deal. But JJ Andrews, his stock it's going through the roof. I really think he ends up being, if not a unanimous 5-star, and there might be some publication that has him as a 5-star. I don't know. 247 again, they have him currently as a high 4-star, borderline 5. And again, I know we get caught up in stars and we're not supposed to, but you know, in this case, I want him to get that 5th star. Damn it, I just want him to get it because I feel like he's earned it. You know, he kind of came out of nowhere. Not really. I mean, if you've been following him for a little bit, but for a lot of fans, he kind of came out of nowhere and he's earned it. And I think he should get that 5th star. Courtney,
I think the stars were some of the problem with last year's team, though. So many 5-star players we had. That's why everybody got pissed when we lost our first 5 or 6 games.
Well,
you know,
yeah, it can be bad for expectations, right? Because let's say you have a bunch of guys who are ranked as 4 stars or 3 stars, right? And then you start winning all these games and you're so good, and it's like, okay, it didn't really matter what they were ranked, right? And I also think it's so subjective, guys. You should see how they do some of those rankings. It's ridiculous. And I'm not trying to call anybody out here because I really do respect like 24/7 sports, you know, all of that. And I respect On3, all of them. I do. But when you actually sit on the other side of things and like see how they're done, and you're like, really?
yeah.
You know, you haven't even watched some of these kids. You haven't, and you're giving them a ranking.
Some dude
like,
with the clipboard, he's like, "Yeah, 3-star."
But that's what I'm saying. But that's literally what I'm saying. It's like the same people who do basketball rankings and baseball rankings for the AP, right? All those AP voters. I've talked to some of them that go, "Yeah, I was only able to watch like 3 games this week instead of like every team, so I'm just gonna like put it based on like I don't know, like what
just send it."
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why are we letting people make rankings and putting so much stock into them when you're not even watching all of these kids? You know, you're not even watching everything. Like,
have you seen the Heisman voters?
Yes.
Just saying, dude. It's not exactly
I have seen the Heisman voters, and honestly, I don't understand why that award is hyped up so much, because the people who are voting for it, half of them have no idea what's going on. Yep. And I can say that confidently because I know some of those voters. And I'm going, what? What do you mean? Who should you vote for? Like, sorry. I shouldn't go on a rant.
It's an understandable rant. And I've said the same thing about, and this is a little bit different, but kind of same. It's PFF. All right. I love the analytics. Yeah. I've talked to the Arkansas SID about PFF. Yes. They do not converse with the universities. They don't know. So, and I get that that's kind of by design, right? Like the university's not going to tell when they rate a player who maybe didn't have a stellar game and they give him, you know, ridiculously low numbers. And I've talked to the SID about this, and I asked him straight up. I said, Kyle, do they reach out to you guys at all? Do they want to know, like, did someone do something wrong on the play? And he goes, they don't know the routes. They don't know Like, how do you grade someone when you don't even know like what they're doing? Like, how do you grade out a bad route or whatever based on their own analytical stuff? How do you know that? And then on top of that, they grade everybody.
You can't do that. You
can't.
physically don't have. You're exactly right. Sorry. Ooh, woosah. It's a Tuesday and we're all feeling good.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, I will get.
I like PFF because I do think there is some substantial information that if you kind of understand what you're looking at, it's good to know. I use it. I use it. I think it's an good example. Broden, when he came in, PFF had his drop grade insanely low. And I thought, well, surely it's not that bad. Well, what did he follow? What did he bring here from Bowling Green? He dropped a lot of balls.
He dropped those too.
So some of that does translate. And so PFF isn't entirely wrong. I just don't know how that works where you're grading. I mean, you could pull up Division II schools and they're grading them. And I'm like, how? How do you have that information? You don't have 10,000 people in your employment. Well, not that high, right? Like 1,000. You don't have 1,000 people going to all the games, watching all the film. How the hell do you do that? So it's similar with the recruiting stuff. Like, how the hell are you watching and do you truly know? Do you know the level of competition they're playing against? Do you know how good that left tackle is that's guarding that defensive end and maybe, whatever? How do you know all this? How do you have all this information? I know a lot of it too is also camps. I know they go to these camps. You used to have the Nike Spark events and all this. I get that. You have the junior day camps at the schools. I understand that, but there's still so many players, I think. And that's an argument, by the way, that a lot of our Kansans make about their own high school players.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of these kids are completely looked over.
Well, because if they don't go to those camps, then they aren't seeing film on them. They aren't looking. They're just going off of like, okay, here's what we have on these kids. If you go to a camp, you're more likely to get ranked higher. I'm just going to let you know that it's a business at the end of the day, right? Hey, come to our camp and, do all of that and, support us. And then we'll rank you. Right. If you don't go to a camp and there's Arkansans that don't, that's why they're not getting ranked as high. And so it bugs me. I agree completely with that.
And we're not saying that Arkansas is like the high school football here is not as competitive as Florida, as Texas, as Ohio, California. We get that, but I do think there are a lot of players in this state that do get overlooked or they don't get as high a value. By the way, shout out to Bradley Caldwell of Arkansas Sports Network. They cover a lot of the in-state high school stuff. Figured I'd give them a little plug there. Shout out to him. He's also a legendary status member too and a co-sponsor of this show. Arkansas baseball. Moving into some baseball here really quick. We got the regional Arkansas, the number 3 overall seeding. They're going to play North Dakota State on Friday. I think it's at 2 p.m. Is that right?
Yep, it's at 2 p.m. They're playing the early game.
Okay. I don't know. I think there's a little bit. You tell me. I want both of your opinions on this. Are Razorback fans freaking out over nothing? Or is this really, do you feel like this is a really unfair? And I did watch your Ask Mike segment on this too, by the way, so I kind of know where you're going to go with this. But just for the crowd here that hasn't seen that, can you give me your thoughts? And Travis, I'll get you too, your thoughts on the Fayetteville Regional. That's Kansas, North Dakota State, and Cretan.
And Cretan, I love it. And Cretan. What I think, and this is kind of going to echo what we said on Ask Mike, right? Is the fact of the matter is, look, I don't think any regional is easy. I'm not saying that. There are harder regionals in Arkansas. I will say that too. There are easier ones, right? I wouldn't overlook Kansas. I wouldn't overlook Creighton. I wouldn't even overlook North Dakota State, the 4 seed, genuinely, because they've played tough competition in their schedule. And while, yes, they've lost to said tough competition, they've hung in there, right? I mean, they've hung in there. So I wouldn't overlook anybody. Now, I will say this about Kansas and all their fancy stats, right? And, when Mike, the other day, when I turned to Mike and I said, they're the only team in the nation with 43 overall wins, I think 20 true road wins and 20 conference wins. They're the only team in the nation that can say that. Well, yeah, but they also don't play in the SEC, right? They don't. That doesn't mean you should overlook them. I'm just saying, remember who the teams play.
Yep.
Now, I will say this: Kansas is ranked high in RPI. I think they're number 24 this week. I want to say in RPI rankings. That's not bad. They're not a bad team. Neither is Creighton. And North Dakota State. Say what you will. I feel like the Bisons, even though I feel like the Hogs will win that first game, they might put up a fight. I really do think that if it's the postseason, you can never count anybody out, right? We know that. And Steven makes a great comment. I know it's not a great conference, but 40 wins is nothing to sneeze at. This is my point. Don't overlook anybody. Arkansas should be sitting there going, you know what? We are going to fight tooth and nail to win this regional, and that will be nothing to scoff at if they can do it.
Yeah.
Do I think they got shafted? No, because I think other teams have tougher regionals. But do I think Arkansas has the easiest regional? No, I look at Auburn. I'm like, why are we giving Auburn a cakewalk? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's
Are
ridiculous.
you kidding me? No. And I agree with Kyle too. Creighton will upset Kansas. You heard it here first. I agree that Creighton is a good team too. There are Kansas fans that told me this week that said, we're going to lose to Creighton. They're good. We're going to lose to Creighton. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right, well, great, wonderful. So I just don't think you should overlook anybody. Do I think Arkansas can win? Yes, I do. And I know that's crazy given how the last couple regionals have gone for them. But there ain't no purple in this regional, so I'm not worried, okay?
Reasonable. And Kansas, a.k.a. the real Northwest Arkansas. I can't believe there's not a hog on there yet, man.
I know. Eventually, the state flag, the Arkansas state flag, they're going to have to adopt
We have simultaneously owned their ass in every postseason game we've played in them in the past, 10 years.
Well, we're sitting here.
Then this needs to keep going. It needs to keep going.
It needs to happen.
I agree with Kyle. I think Creighton is going to be the team to beat, other than Arkansas. And so North Dakota State, looking at them really quick, because again, Arkansas plays them here really soon. And I know Courtney's got to get ready to go here, but
sorry, I'm about to go live in just a second, y'all. So
okay,
nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll touch on this later. How about that? But I do appreciate you taking a little time out of your evening with us. By the way, like I said, everyone follow her. And are you still doing your podcast or no?
Yeah.
My full court press. Yeah, we just took a hiatus on it because my dad and I were kind of like, well, let's see what the team looks like. And then because he hates speculation. I'll tell you this, as a coach, he hates speculation. He was like, look, I will come on the podcast again, but I want to wait to see what the team looks like.
That's
and
good.
So once that draft deadline, once Wednesday passes, we will pop on the podcast again, and we will give thoughts on this year's team. So
Well, you guys go follow her on Twitter and go check out her podcast. She does a great job. It's awesome. And of course, Ask Mike and everything she does for PTN. Courtney, thanks again for stopping by and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And Ask Mike is online for this week. So if you want to see more of our thoughts, we have a lot of good conversation this week.
Yeah.
And I know somebody asked about my opinion on softball. That's also an Ask Mike this week. So if you want to get my thoughts and Mike's thoughts on that, Ask Mike is online this week. So go check it out.
Yeah, left it all on the field. Appreciate you, Courtney.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we so again, shout out to Courtney for taking a little time out of her evening. As I said already, she's awesome. I love it when she could stop by and talk to us. It's been too long, and we still got to do our Baldur's Gate. We haven't even done that. We haven't gone back and we haven't even started it. We got to get our Baldur's Gate 3 on. So, all right, what I was going to point out really quick, Travis, North Dakota State, if you look at their rankings, let me pull that back up. I don't know if it pulled up on the screen or not. Nope, it didn't. Here it is. Nope, that's NCAA. Pull that off. This is where OBS comes in handy.
Right.
Okay, I think this is it. There we go. Boom. All right. If you look, I don't know what I'm missing here.
I'm blind. I'm zooming in. Hang on.
Yeah, I could maybe blow this up a little bit. Their RPI or versus top 25 teams, they're 2-11. They're under 500 against teams 26 through 50. And then they're 2-6 versus teams 51 through 100. And then 11-9, just a couple of games over when they face opponents ranked 101 through 200. Their RPI overall is 152. Strength of schedule 79. Their non-conference strength of schedule, however, number 1. Okay, that's interesting.
Got any Razorback stats?
I do have Razorback stats.
Like to see them comparable,
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. This is their schedule here. I mean, they were swept by Tulane. They lost 2 midweek games to LSU. Swept by Alabama. Interesting that Alabama played them in a 3 game. Oklahoma State, they lost 1. The other one was canceled, most likely due to a tornado, I'd bet.
The only thing I'm worried about is, these smaller teams come in here sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not
ready to go.
Yeah, and that's why I like Creighton. And by the way, they beat Creighton.
Oh, good.
3-2. So like they have it in them.
Man, let's sneak up on you, man.
And then they
lost
come,
to them. Didn't lose by much.
No. So, but you see a lot of L's, and then they close out the year winning 3 of their last 4. It's an interesting matchup. I mean, just kind of looking over their stats, and again, you can go to Tusk Talk with Ty Discord, and we have the what the hell do we call it? It's the scouting report. We have the scouting report there if you want to look at this information a little bit, a little easier, where you can actually zoom in on the screen a little more. But they don't have a lot of it doesn't appear like they have a lot of power. I mean, look at this. They've only got 3 guys batting above 300.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're going to stick Root out there too. They're going to start Root.
So, and this is the thing, at the end of the day, yeah, you're going to end up throwing these damn stats out the window.
Yep.
They just don't matter. And
it's like new season kind of,
It is. It's like I've said this for the last couple of years, even though I don't cover a ton of baseball on this channel. You're playing 2 different seasons. You're playing the regular season, then you're playing the postseason, which is in and of itself another season. Just obviously not near as many games. But so Arkansas's got an interesting path laid before them. I do think they're going to have to go through. It's going to come down to, I think, Arkansas and Creighton. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe KU does surprise us.
God, I hope not.
I know it.
I hope this is a normal day at the office.
Courtney the GOAT. I love her and Mike going at it in good fun. Yeah. Yeah, no, Ask Mike is a fantastic segment. By the way, I appreciate everyone for being in here. Make sure, like I said earlier, like, share, and subscribe. Tell me in chat, who do you like? Who comes out of this regional? You guys tell me. I feel like a lot of you are going to say Arkansas, but I'm curious if anyone else has a different train of thought. I know if Judd's in here, I already know he's not even going to like it. He's going to have Arkansas going 0-2.
That's like Kansas.
Yeah, North Dakota State's they're going to knock us out of our own park game 1, which you never know. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen.
So I'm an idiot. This is dual loss, right? 2-loss thing.
Yeah, it's dual elimination.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Double elimination. That's the word I was looking for. Dual loss. What a weirdo. Really official.
Their tournament rank, by the way, in all these different stats, batting average, on base, slugging, they're like dead last. Talking about NDSU, talking about North Dakota State. Their offense is atrocious.
Dude, on paper, we should come out and throw a no-hitter against these dudes. I mean,
right? I mean, but again, that's the thing about this freaking sport. That's the thing. Like, you just
are we gonna
say
the thing? Are we gonna say the thing? This is their Super Bowl.
Oh,
because it really is.
He did it. He said the thing. He said
the thing.
Yeah. However, I do love this potential matchup though with KU, with knocking them out again, some more postseason fun with Kansas. I love it, dude. I love it.
It's great because like half of my family lives in Kansas.
Oh,
I call people I haven't talked to all year. Every time we beat Kansas, I'm like, guess what? Y'all stuck again.
I love it.
Great aunts and uncles. What's up?
Arky 56. I don't know if he's still in live chat or not. That's my dad. He is from Dodge City, Kansas.
Okay.
But he is a Razorback.
From Hutchinson. It's like southern Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing in that town but old people, dude.
There's nothing in Kansas except windmills and flat
bars. Yeah, man.
It's crazy. Like Oklahoma and Kansas has that in common. They're both just flat and
dude. Jeremy Brigham I took Arkansas at plus 1,200 before the season started. Not changing my opinion, dude. That's good stuff. You know, we're actually the betting favorite to win. They
are.
Yeah,
Arkansas is it's between Arkansas and Texas, and I think Is it FanDuel? I think they have Arkansas favored.
I sent it in the group chat the other day. I'm going to try to dig it up.
You're going to have to. Arkansas is and I don't remember a time when that's ever happened. I really
we
don't.
got the pieces, man. We just got to put it together. Arkansas is the highest favorite. We're plus 470.
Wow.
Followed by LSU, Vandy, then Texas.
And that's according to who? Who is that?
FanDuel.
Okay.
Yep. That's crazy. And then, because like even Tennessee's at 5th. Now, these are SEC teams. Like just the SEC. What it says, latest odds to win the College World Series. But it's only SEC teams. I don't know who's got the best odds in the nation, but I know in the SEC, Arkansas's got the best odds.
I'm pretty sure when I saw it was Arkansas. It was either Arkansas or Texas on the ones that I saw.
Yeah, they got Tennessee at plus 1,200. Same with Georgia.
Wow. 20 likes. I know we can get those likes up, people. Get them up. Let's go.
Come on.
Theoretically, our bats should shine, right? These teams have good arms. Yeah, now that is the thing about North Dakota State. I think they do have really good pitching, but nothing like SEC, or am I wrong? Again, it's like, Arkansas, we know they've got the arms out of the bullpen. We know they've got pieces. The biggest issue for this team is how many innings can they get out of their starting pitching?
Man, if it goes right, they can get Root like 7 innings.
Yeah. And just pitch him. just let him go. Let him hit that 80 pitch count or whatever it is that it seems like they keep him at. Let him go. Keep going. If he can get it, if he gets hot, let him ride the lightning, baby.
If he has a game, who was it? Tennessee or it was Texas that he came out just on fire.
I think so. Yeah,
it was Texas.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah,
Tennessee beat us the first game, and he threw. Yeah, he threw very well. So did McIntyre. Did very good against
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if we win this regional, we get to play those dudes again. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was the thing I was going to ask Courtney, and of course she had to go. That is a very interesting matchup, is having to turn around and then deal with Tennessee, who was a very tough 3-game series in Fayetteville. They're the number 14 overall, which makes no sense to me. I do not understand that. I don't get how they're 14 overall. I know
they lost all those series.
They did, but they still had a pretty decent amount of wins.
I think they lost the last 6 series, though.
It was bad, but I mean, at the end of the day, they still
they're a
play
good team.
in the SEC.
Doyle ain't no game, dude.
Say what?
I said Doyle ain't no game. Was he the SEC pitcher of the year?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Wonder how he feels about Arkansas.
They're probably looking at us just like we're looking at them, going, "Oh crap."
Probably, but to be fair, I think everyone is looking at Arkansas like that.
If they get out of their regional, which I think they will, can you pull up the regionals again?
Yeah. Hold on.
I just want to make sure I'm not crazy here.
There we go.
I thought they'd pretty safely get out of their regional.
Yeah, so I think in that bracket, I think Wake Forest is the
Wake
team.
Forest is the biggest threat.
I think their bats. I think they're filthy. I'm pretty sure Wake Forest's hitting is filthy. It's higher.
I don't know who I'd rather play.
Yeah, but you never know though. Miami, Ohio. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't. Man, that's tough.
Watch Cincinnati win it all.
Cincinnati, yeah. They knock Arkansas out of the supers. And then advance to Omaha and win the whole damn thing. Yeah.
I remember we lost last year. I was like, is that the last game? Are we? Okay, our season's over. Okay, cool.
Yeah, last 2 years it did that. So they need to at least get out of your – listen, like I said before we went live, fans want a win. They want to win in Omaha. It's not so much about getting there, but there's a part of me that's like, okay, yeah, I want to win the whole thing. This is as good a team as Dave Van Horn has ever had. Fair enough, right? You've got the odds apparently kind of in your favor here, between you and Texas. But at the same time, it kind of feels like you might break the curse if you can at least get back to Omaha and get out of your own damn regional. So a part of me would be like, okay, at least we got there. We got to the equivalent of the Final Four, even though it's obviously not 4 teams, but at least you got there, right? You broke that curse of getting out of your own regional. Yes, I want them to go further, but man, again, I really, the right analogy for postseason might be that you're playing because the regionals are one thing, and then you go to Omaha and it's something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're in a different state, different city, different state, and now you're playing the best of the best for sure, or at least the teams that are hottest at the time, right? And that's a big piece of it, getting Omaha and getting hot. Like if you're hot going into Omaha and you can keep that fire burning, you could win the whole thing. But it's crazy. College baseball is just it's a weird sport.
There's so much more parity in baseball than I think any other sport.
Yeah.
To where a little team could just whoop your ass and you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like you whip the hell out of NC State one night in game 1, and then they knock you out of your own damn regional.
Yep.
Like that's just what's wild about baseball. It's just anything can happen. So I did ask AI, and I can't pull it up on the screen, but I did ask AI who's in favor of, or who's the odds on favor to win the College World Series. It says based on current odds and expert predictions, Arkansas, Texas, and LSU are considered top contenders for the 2025 NCAA College World Series. Arkansas is listed as the favorite. Yeah, DraftKings at plus 475.
LSU scares the shit out of me. I don't know why.
Well, they're good.
They're a good team, man.
Yeah, they're just good. Well coached. They're well put together. I didn't even look at their where the hell is their region? Okay, they've got Little Rock, DBU, and Rhode Island. So they got some mid-majors in theirs, and that almost, I don't know if I'd be terrified of that or not. I don't think I would be. They don't play a single, Baton Rouge, they don't play a single damn Power 3, Power 4 team. Look at this. I didn't know this. Now, Little Rock, people are trying to convince me Little Rock might.
We mopped Little Rock, though, man.
I know, and that's my thing. But I guess maybe they're playing a little bit better towards the end of the year. I don't know.
That would be
DBU and Rhode
Island.
The
greatest thing ever.
Oh, my God.
If Euler knocked out LSU. Do me a
Go
favor.
Trojans, baby.
I'm telling you. Or like if Kentucky wins their regional, that would be hilarious.
Oh, man. And Clemson, yeah, that would
it could happen, maybe. Clemson's probably pretty tough.
I'll tell you, the Conway regional's tough. That's tough. Coastal Carolina, ECU, Florida. Yeah, that's a tough regional, man. But I look at Arkansas, I look at the Fayetteville regional, and that might be.
So are all the supers just going to be all SEC teams? That's what it's kind of looking like. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, there's an old foe right there.
I hate them so much. Forever.
Oregon State. I want a rematch so bad. Bring it on. The Athens regional. I mean, Georgia Tech, though.
I was like OSU too when they had Riggio. What's his name?
I don't know what.
Little asshat. He's a blonde-headed, curly-headed kid.
I don't know.
I think it was like Rick Reggio or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
That cocky kid. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was so great beating them.
It was fun to beat them. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was wonderful. Rock Reggio is his name.
So hot. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Stupid name. Rock.
What a punk. And then you got the Hattiesburg right there, Southern Miss, Miami, Alabama. Well, I don't know. Some of these teams.
There's one SEC team in every one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it could end up being all SEC.
That would be the greatest, but also the most boring thing ever. Could be. Rock Reggio. Yep. Thank you, Ricky. Yeah.
Jeremy says, I think Little Rock is a win over Ole Miss this year.
Do they really?
I think they did beat an SEC team this year, and a good one. I think he might be right. If it wasn't Ole Miss, it might have been someone like a Vanderbilt or, yeah.
Damn.
You just never know.
I can't believe Vandy won the SEC. That was crazy. I was like, what?
Well, yeah, but they're good in baseball.
No, well, I know.
They're legit like baseball school.
Weren't they pretty low seed? I don't remember.
Were they?
I looked at one tournament bracket and I was like, well, okay. Doesn't matter. Be nice to win this, but we're not gonna. Whatever,
Yeah, well, they were a 1 there in the
and Ole Miss had to just put us out the trash, man.
I know it. Well, hey, moving on from baseball. Sam Pitman, Travis. Did you hear how highly CBS Sports thinks of Sam Pittman?
How would you feel if you were a coach and you saw that? You just feel like, man, I guess I do suck. You know what I mean? Damn.
Let me close out all these damn windows here, and I'll show you guys what we're talking about. CBS Sports. Oh my God, so many windows. I hope you don't ask me a question I don't have one of these windows open for.
No, I have stopped asking you questions because you get mad at me.
I don't get mad. When I move on in my mind, I've put that thing behind me, and I'm so bad about pulling that back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just can't get there. I'm like, shit, he just asked me that, and I don't remember. Here's the article, and we'll read this bad boy together. How about that? Boom. This is CBS Sports 2025 college football coach rankings.
Damn, they got Deion ranked above him.
Deion Sanders, Bill Belichick headline Power 4 coaches ranked 68 to 26.
Let's see how he does this year before we put him at the top of the ranks here, dude.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean,
yeah.
If he can get his,
They've got Levy down at 68.
That sucks because I feel like Levy's a better coach than
I do too, man. He's
a great offensive coordinator.
I just did not think Mississippi State was the right time or place for him. And I said that when he took the job.
Yeah, he should have stayed at OU. Or where was he? OU or Ole Miss? He was at OU.
So he was at OU, yeah. Frank Reich at Stanford at 67.
I don't even know who that is.
Brent Brennan at Arizona.
I don't know who that dude
Tony
is.
Elliott. How long? Tony Elliott's been there for a minute.
I know Tony. I didn't know who Brent Brennan is.
I don't know. He's some guy.
Damn.
David Braun.
These guys aren't above him yet. Okay.
No. Yeah. So that is the good news. Here's
Scott
this
Frost.
is yeah, that's crazy.
Ouch, bro.
Scott Frost is at 62nd on this list.
Dude, he killed his career at Nebraska. Shouldn't have done it.
Frost returns to UCF, hoping to rekindle the magic from his last stint in Orlando, the one that led to his ill-fated return to his alma mater, Nebraska, where he went 16-31. Okay, fair enough. And 10-26 in the Big Ten. Not so fun fact if you're a UCF fan. Frost has now been a head coach for 7 seasons, including the 2022 season he didn't finish, and 13-0 at UCF in 2017. God dang, that's been almost 10 years ago.
Their only fake national championship, he won it.
Oh, you mean the one made up of tinfoil?
Live champions. Let's go, baby.
Cardboard. So blah, 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 blah.
Cardboard.
Yeah. They've got him at 62nd, which is wild to me. I don't know. I would love
Jeremy's comment off the screen so we can read it all.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Never mind. I wasn't even covering it. Never mind.
Scott Frost, 62nd.
How about that? Deshaun Foster. Stealing all our players.
I know. Expectations were not high for Foster. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Entering year 2. He's look at that name drop. Nico Iamaleava.
You better hope them Lava brothers can play.
I'm going to leave you if you don't.
They're going next year to like Mountain West.
Arkansas. Sam Pittman comes in at 57th. Oh, too far. 57th. If we were to ask our voters to rank coaches on the likelihood we wouldn't be, we wouldn't be ranking them at all next year.
Okay.
God dang. Pittman could very well finish at the top. He entered the 2024 season on the hot seat and finished 7-6, but the 3-5 mark in SEC play didn't turn the dial down much. Pittman's Arkansas teams have never finished a season with a winning record in conference play, and unless there's a jump forward in 2025, they could look at starting over in Fayetteville. Damn, son.
I was about to say, damn.
57th.
Ooh-wee. I mean, I don't know. I'm surprised he's even on the list. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah? You thought he wouldn't even make the top?
I'm surprised he did. His seat is on absolute fire. Did they rank every coach? Well,
it only goes to, I guess they're going to finish this list off.
They did 68.
Goes all the way down to 26.
Okay.
So obviously they'll finish this bad boy up as the offseason goes. I mean, this is how you do it. There ain't shit to talk about, so you might as well piece together something like this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Is it a little clickbaity? Yeah. But I think this is fair.
It's super fair.
I mean, it's fair, right? 57.
Man, you got Clark Lee above him, man. I guess he did look a little better last. That dude, the season where he hired Enos absolutely killed him.
Oh man.
Oh, because look, they got Bill Belichick at 54. I thought they said he headlined it.
Got him who's never coached or he hasn't coached college ball. Well, we know how things fell apart for him in the NFL, and of course, I wonder if his is she a fiance now, girlfriend, whatever. I wonder how she feels about this. 54th.
She probably already sent some emails about it.
Yeah,
take him off the list. It's ridiculous.
Somewhere or rank him higher.
We met through a mutual friend. I swear.
We're not talking about this. We're not talking about.
It's just a cow. Yeah.
Oh man, that's every Power 4 conference coach ranked.
Oh, okay.
Separate article for top 25. Oh, so they already got it out.
They've
already got it out. Okay, I didn't see that. I only saw this portion.
So the only reason he's on this list because that's every Power 4 head coach.
Yeah,
they had to put him somewhere.
Yeah. That's,
okay.
Yeah.
Poor Lebby, man. Lebby's on.
Yeah, Lebby got smoked.
I can't say the
no
word.
Doubt. Lebby got smoked here.
If
60...
Lebby was in jail, he would be handcuffed to the little thing where they watch you all the time.
Wait, what?
I can't say the word. It'll hurt your algorithm.
I don't know what you're talking about. if he was arrested?
No, Lebby. I said if he was in jail, he would be sitting on the bench where they monitor you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it says it right there. Power 4 coaches.
We're just idiots. It's
pointed
okay.
that out. I should have pointed that out.
So they just had to put him on there. That's why he's on there. They're like,
yeah,
57.
Just a blindfold. I mean, listen, he's got a losing record in SEC play. And that, like you said, the hiring of Dan Enos absolutely tanked.
Dude, he lost players because of it. He lost everything because of that guy.
Yeah. Oh man, it was
and then didn't make up for it much with Petrino last year.
Here's the issue. Well, I don't know. They did do some things right last year. Now, I'm not going to be we
were close.
I'm not going to be like a mouthpiece for the University of Arkansas by any stretch of the imagination. I've been very critical of Sam Pittman going back to the infamous Dan Enos era that was short-lived. Should never have happened to begin with.
That was crazy.
We
were all pumped about it too. I was like, this could be okay.
Well, considering that Enos had a really good run, and again, going back to 2015, like one of the only 3 years Arkansas ever had like a 6,000 total yard season, and did wonders for the quarterbacks at Arkansas. Well, helped some quarterbacks, right?
I think the personnel they just brought in the wrong guy with the personnel we had.
KJ did not fit what Enos is trying to do. Clearly, he's a system guy.
Well, you had all of Riles guys. You had veer and shoot players trying to run pro style offenses, and it just doesn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah, it was definitely
really
square.
Bad.
It was definitely square peg round hole. So that year, I mean, it just absolutely.
And our line was terrible.
Like you said, it tanked his reputation. Sam Pittman and that is the thing. Like, we're going to talk about this all freaking off season, and I hate it, but it is true and it is fair, even though some people don't want to hear it over and over and over again. But let's be real. This is a year in which Sam is on there's got to be from Hunter Yurachek, God willing here, there's got to be a line drawn in the sand. And what is it? I
will make a bold prediction. If Pittman doesn't get fired this year and they lose, they will fire Yurachek.
You think so?
Yep. They did it to Jeff Long and Bielema. I think they will. What's the biggest money generating sport?
Well, it's football, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you suck at that, you start losing the money. That's what's going to matter.
Well, here's the thing.
Showing up. It's going to be a problem.
Courtney Mims brought this up on a live show that she did with me last summer, or maybe it was after the football. I don't know. No. It was last summer. It was before the season, where Hunter Yurachek was doing his job on the financial side. Like, Arkansas was raking in money.
Yeah.
Even with how bad like the football program is and has been, right? That they are still generating money, that they are like, a top, whatever it is, top 20. I think Forbes has Arkansas rated as like one of the top 15, top 20 most valued programs. Now, I don't remember if that was just football or if that was athletic departments. I'm not really sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was athletic departments in general.
It might have been.
I remember that.
It might have been. I thought it was football.
Surprised. I was like, oh.
But on that front, if that is true, listen, I'm not even saying that that's accurate and that's right. Maybe I'm wrong. If that's true, playing devil's advocate, then he is doing his job. He is bringing in money. And at the end of the day, that's what they want. Yeah, wins will help you generate more of that. You got to think about your losses, as a university, of those games that you're losing out on. That's revenue that you're losing. Potential revenue just goes out the window when you lose. Like it's going to get harder and harder to sell tickets.
And also, I think on the other side of the coin of what I just said, I think some of Cal coming here was because of Hunter Yurachek, because he called Kelvin Sampson and asked him how he was to work for. So that could be a thing that maybe helps him a little bit. Also, I just think he'll get rid of him if we suck this year. The only thing that's going to save Sam Pittman's job is going 9-3. I don't care.
Oh, okay? So you think it's got to be north of
8-4, 9-3? I don't know. Nothing else will inject any electricity back into this program other than going 8-4, 9-3, or hiring a new coach.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts.
I think. I agree. I think it's got to be 8.
It's got to be something to where we're all like,
it has to be.
Damn, when did Pittman learn how to coach? That's what it's going to be like that. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that will be I feel the general reaction if everybody would have to eat their words and be like, damn, this guy's actually not bad. And me included, for sure. I've said so much bad stuff off air. I don't like to disrespect him on air, but I'm just saying, I think every fan has sitting in their living room going, what are we doing?
What gets dicey if you do only win, let's say 6, let's say he repeats what we did last year. I think the only way, and this was a conversation I had with a fan a while back, the only way you keep him is it depends on who those 6 wins were against.
True.
And so, like, let's say it's Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame's potentially going to be a top
I just
3.
know he's going to beat Notre Dame this year just because.
You better knock on wood, son.
Dude, I just think
God.
He does it every year. Every year he does one, and they're like, he has had one of those every year short of beating like Obama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where it's like,
last year, Tennessee.
That's what I'm saying. The year before, who was the big one they won the year before? Well, there wasn't very many that year.
No, it was a 4-win year.
The year before A&M and LSU when he won all the trophies. That dude was on just on a rocket ship, dude.
I guess
jukebox hero when he's coming out, everybody's like, Pittman.
The jukebox was it,
It was fun. Sure. It was fun though when Pittman was awesome.
So so you think it's fair that he's at 57th on the CBS Sports thing? You think that's fair?
The way stuff's going currently, yeah.
Okay.
If not a little high.
Oh.
Being honest.
Well, should Scott Frost be in front of him?
No, Scott Frost is terrible. He ruined his life in Nebraska. Dude, he won a fake national championship. And then he went 8-it at Nebraska afterward. He left on his high horse, went to Nebraska and ate it. And now Matt Rule's having to clean up his mess.
But I will say, though, not every job is for every coach. I mean, a good example of that is Barry Odom.
True.
Barry Odom was not good at Mizzou. He was not good. Then he goes to UNLV and he turns them into something special, right? I mean, they're really good. They're definitely competitive. That offense was something else, right? Even though it wasn't his offense. But and you could probably say the same damn thing about maybe Rhett Lashley at SMU. Now, he's never, that's his first gig, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he could go somewhere else. Eventually, he's going, if he does that again at SMU, if he wins 10, 11 games, gets them in playoff contention or maybe just on the outside, on the outside looking in, but he still finishes on a very positive note, winning 10 regular season games, he's going to get pulled up by some, I don't know. Maybe it does end up being Florida. Maybe Florida does fall on their face this year, despite who they have at quarterback. And maybe he ends up at Florida, right? Or maybe he ends up somewhere else and it doesn't work out. Like, you see that all the time. So that could have been what happened with Scott Frost.
Yeah,
it was already. And by the way, Nebraska hasn't really been that competitive. I don't. What did Bo Pelini do there? Right,
Bo Pelini ate it. He sucked in Nebraska.
Nobody has been great at Nebraska since the 90s. So I would argue that Scott Frost should be in front of Sam Pittman. I think and to be fair,
maybe on levels of success that overall, maybe.
You could be right too. Maybe what happened in Nebraska is a sign of things to come for UCF.
It just sucks because we don't have another resume of Pittman doesn't have the resume to compare what he did it somewhere else. It's fair, this and that's it, and it's heavily led by a terrible season followed up by a mediocre season.
Yeah, Hogball Burner says, "What is this? Hold on. I figured I needed to make an appearance.
My man, Hogball showed up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for giving us a pity view. Is that what this is? Is that what this is, Hogball Burner? Just a pity view? How about you at least retweet us, man?
Hey, man, he put some respect on his name now. Coach Drink be tweeting at him all the time.
Oh no, I know who Hogball Burner is. Hogball Burners are good, dude. No matter who it is, we know it won't be Arkansas. Wait a minute, I need some more context.
He must have been talking about winning something.
Maybe baseball, maybe the tournament.
Nah, I don't know. He ain't that
Oh
far
no.
behind.
It was 7:39. So I guess he's talking about Arkansas getting more wins. I'm not sure. For Lashley. Okay. Yeah. yeah. That almost seems too good to be true, right? Like with
I feel like it's the Gus Malzahn all over again, but he's younger.
Well,
like that girl, the hot girl we've always think likes us, but actually is like, no.
Is he gonna play us for?
I was just here because I needed my rent paid.
Yeah. Well, is this gonna turn into one of those things where like he uses us for bait for buyout bait? Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, like Gus did. And I'm not saying I wanted Gus here ever. And I'm not. When
a fan base is clamoring for you every single time, every single year, and you keep doing good, he made it to the playoffs last year.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want
Rhett with one of our players.
I'll say this: I had people in Discord 2 years ago, or maybe it was last year, telling me that Rhett was trash, and I was like, okay, if you say so.
I don't think Rhett's trash. I just don't think he'll come here. No. Because of what we've talked about before. Because of the not even. I don't think it has nothing to do with Arkansas. I think it has to. I know. We found Judd's burner.
No, that sounds like something someone said in Discord about he's here. Or maybe that was you that said that. Was that you that said that 3 more years because they're going to play out his contract and they're trying to balance out
there was a
revenue sharing and everything?
He went on an interview and said that he had planned on staying here for 3 more years.
I listened to that interview.
Crazy, dude.
And he got trashed because people were saying it wasn't about like the bright side of coming or, being positive about the year. It was just about his playing out till his or coaching until his contract was up and then we'll just see or something. I listened to it and I was gonna make that a part of the show, but I was on vacation in Branson when I saw that.
What's funny is with his resume, if he went 8-4 this year, he'd be a hero here.
Well, I don't know about maybe.
They'd be like, oh my God, do you believe that? Did you see the last 2 years? He's a great coach.
2020 or 2021, definitely fans were all in on Sam Pittman.
I thought he was the man. I was like, holy crap, we're back. Yeah, we're back.
For sure.
We got all our trophies back. It's going down.
Different. It's different this time around because it's like, okay, but we saw what he could do at his worst too, though, right? We hadn't really seen that because the year before in 2021, in 2020, he had the COVID year. And he still won 3 conference games, which we hadn't done for the previous 3 seasons. So it was like, oh, we're trending up. We're going to continue to be at this level. Maybe we're back to that Houston nut 8 to 9 wins a year kind of. Well, not that Houston was 8 to 9 wins ever, but outside of his first couple of years. But it
definitely felt like he had some good momentum. You know what I mean? And then following it up the next year and just all bad.
I don't know his buyout, Steven. It's I don't know how that works. I thought 26 was his last season.
It's based on losses and wins.
Well, buyout. that's the buyout amount, right? He's saying did he get another season because 26 was his last year? And I don't remember how that's. I don't know. I thought it was 2026 or 2027. I could be wrong. But yeah, if he finishes at a certain amount of wins, his buyout does drop even more.
Hogball Burner said 8-4. Then he gets his salary doubled like clockwork.
Yeah. It's the Mike
Anderson's waiting in the wings, dude. He's like, what? You said he won what?
It's Mike Anderson 2.0. It is. It's Mike Anderson 2.0. It's accepting mediocrity. And I know that is just so damn cliche to say right now because everyone's saying it. People are getting pissed off. You've got other shows that are talking like you shouldn't say that you know
the worst thing about that is accepting mediocrity is our schedule sucks every damn year.
Well, and I was going to say you would kind of like mediocrity this year if that's all you got.
Yeah, this year looks bad
because it is a horrible schedule.
Like what the hell?
My God. Arkansas State, I don't know that they're going to be a cakewalk.
Who the hell creates these schedules?
At Ole Miss, at Memphis. You come home to Notre Dame on September 27th. Are you serious?
That's what I'm saying. Whoever makes the schedules is the one person in the university that needs to be fired. What the hell are you doing to us, dude?
Yeah.
And it's been like 2 decades running, just terrible schedules. What's wrong with you guys? North Texas, that was a trap game. What happened there?
Yeah. Let's see. Steven says, plus after Pitt hits an overall losing record, his buyout is reduced significantly. Yeah. It's
do you really think it was a money play keeping him another year? It's just weird to me. How much revenue are you going to lose by keeping him versus what the hell you're going to pay him?
All right, but look at it like this, though. If you're a new head coach, knowing the situation that the NIL is already in, right, and then you are looking at the job and you're going, okay, Arkansas, 3 million people. They produce maybe 2 4-stars a year. They produce maybe 8 to 12 Power 4 worthy high school players. Again, yes, I agree. Other high school players are overlooked, but I'm talking about the higher caliber players. You're not dominating recruiting in the surrounding states. You're having to go to South Georgia, and you've always had to go to Dallas, Fort Worth for recruits.
We pretty much stopped recruiting Louisiana.
They don't recruit. Yeah, they don't.
So weird,
Louisiana, and they don't really recruit. Yeah, and you know, but anyways, and then on top of all of that, you look at the 2025 schedule. I don't know that a coach is going to jump at that opportunity to look at 4-8 right down the barrel.
That's fair.
I could see where maybe it's a money play, where Hunter Yurchak or the money people down in Little Rock, whatever, are going, wait a minute. This might sound devious. It might sound, but I listen, money talks, right? It could be that, he's not going to win 6 games anyways. With this schedule, we're going to get a significantly cheaper buyout. Lord.
That's fair.
I needed help with that. On top of the fact that the following season, the schedule shouldn't be this ridiculous. So, it is the SEC. Schedules are
on purpose.
SEC, I think it could be. I think that's a possibility.
Dude, the one thing is also that with keeping him as long as he did, it doesn't look like we bounce coaches just because they lose.
Yeah.
So that could help. Maybe that's part of it also. I don't know.
Well, Tulsa at Tulsa, I mean, yeah.
That's not so bad.
That's not so bad. Having to play at Memphis, and Memphis was really good last year. That's a tough sell, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking if it's not that. I really don't. I mean, do they really think that Sam's going to win 8 or 9 games with this schedule? And let's not sit here and act like they replaced all their talent with even better talent. I don't think they did. I think the offensive line, they're better.
I think the line's better.
Yeah, left tackle, it certainly feels like, and now you're going to move Carmona into left guard. We'll see what's going on with center. There seems to be a little bit of skepticism with
Kittler.
Kittler.
Really?
There seems to be a little bit of skepticism. I'm not really sure. I don't know if that's because Carmona was taking snaps during the spring camp at center or what that was about. I saw somewhere.
Well, they're just cross-training. You know how we roll, baby.
Well, yeah, but apparently Carmona and there was somebody else they had kind of working at center, and I don't remember who it was, but it probably was a little bit of cross-training. Pittman has been known to do that. But
that sun is coming up behind me quick.
The question is the right side of that offensive line. The defensive line to me just looks atrocious. I'm going to be real. I don't have a whole lot of faith outside of your interior guys. I like what's going on in the interior.
Cam and them.
Yeah, Cam and Ian Jaffrard and Otis and Saili and I know I'm forgetting somebody, but they're in pretty good shape in the interior. It's the rush ends. It's the defensive ends I'm a little worried about.
Look at Lance's comment.
Oh Lord! Wait, who's Lance?
Lance Hamilton.
Oh, said, Lance. Is he in chat? I don't see it.
He said, really? He said, Sam Pittman right now is exciting as paying your light bill. You have to do it. Dude, seriously.
If we were 4-0, we will all wake up. I certainly, look, I'm not saying that that's out of the realm of possibility. That's Alabama A&M, right? Arkansas State, at Ole Miss. My God, could you imagine going there and winning right now? That almost seems impossible. And then at Memphis. You're ranked at that point. You're ranked. Yeah. Ole Miss will be ranked. Arkansas State will not be a cupcake down Little Rock. Memphis, good team.
I think we're going to kick Arkansas State's ass, though. I really do.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just different levels, man.
But could you imagine top 5 Notre Dame playing like a 20th overall Arkansas? Like, wouldn't that be cool to have that in Fayetteville? You talk about excitement,
like Texas level excitement, dude.
Oh, dude, it'd be
Like not
insane.
last year, but the year before.
Even though they're not a rival, and this is the first time they've ever played Notre Dame, but like it's Notre Dame, for the love of God. That is the New York Yankees of college football. Like that is a brand name that everybody knows around the world. For
the only reason I have any hope on Notre Dame is because they're getting a new quarterback. This is that kid from last year. I'm like, we're cooked.
They have to make some changes in some other spots. Yeah, yeah. But you could say that about a number of teams every year, and it's like, yeah, but they just replaced them with someone else who's just as good or whatever. But after Notre Dame, you got to go to freaking Knoxville, man. You got to play Tennessee on the 11th, on October 11th. I mean, this is just
minus Nico. I feel better about that.
That is fair. No, you're right. Yeah, without Nico
Aguilar or somebody, I don't even know where he's from. He may be awesome, but I'm just saying, with Nico, I was like, we're cooked. Because Nico is just going to be seeing red that whole game.
Travis, you will make Austin mad. Wait, why?
I don't know. I'm Googling Notre Dame's quarterback. Is Austin a Notre Dame fan?
I don't think so. No, that's right. Arkansas State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he went to school there for a little bit.
We gonna beat that.
What do we say if we are 4-0 and ranked, Ty? Oh, my God. Then we're all eating our words. Kind of like
Gladly.
Kind of like what Hogball Burner said in chat. Shout out to him. I don't know if he retweeted our show or if he follows Tusk Talk with Ty on Twitter, but I hope that he retweets the show at least.
You should.
He said it. We'll have to basically eat our own words. If you start off 4-0 and you're ranked, like I said, that's at least 2 quality wins on the road if you do that. And then if you beat Notre Dame, fans are going to be like,
a nice feather in the cap, dude.
Notre Dame is?
They don't even beating them. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, but I was talking about
the quarterback is yet.
I was talking about the first 4. Notre Dame would be
Notre Dame's 5th.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3rd for some reason.
No, because Alabama A&M on August 30th. By the way, I'm going to say this again. I love that they play in August. I love that. I love that they play in August because it's like once the month rolls over from July to August, it's like, game month. It's here.
True.
Game month is upon us. That's game with an M month. I'm not talking about June. At Tennessee, Texas A&M coming to Fayetteville. This is just brutal, dude. I don't know what else to say. If he finishes, you almost feel like if he finishes with 7 wins, that might be enough to keep his job.
I'm saying they might build this dude a statue with 8 or 9
for sure. I'm gonna just to fire the coach, man. Wow. Okay, tell me something, Burner. Are you actively going to be rooting against Arkansas? Or
he wants to make sure the job gets done.
Bring out the guillotine, man.
Hey, man.
Time to make a change.
DC, I don't think there's any way Bobby takes over this team ever. Sorry.
No, it won't. It won't happen, even though I've got a video on it. You should go watch it.
You should have watched it already. What the hell, man?
Yeah, for real. Why haven't you watched it? Really good thumbnail, too, by the way. I don't want to take all the credit here. Yeah, I think both records give you the same result.
Yep.
You could be. Whatever happens, like I do want Arkansas. I want them to win clearly, right? But it is because of the way the NIL and the portal is set up. You don't have faith that if they were to have a good year, that he could do it again. And that's where the skepticism always comes in for fans. It's like, yeah, but okay. He won 8 games in 21, and then what happened, right? There's just not a lot of confidence that he can maintain that, especially with how often they complain about the NIL and not having the money.
I want him to win, but I'm prepared to be disappointed.
And also, and I get too that they're saying that NIL is not really the thing anymore. Now it's the revenue sharing, and I get that, but
NIL is still going to be important with revenue sharing because everyone has access to revenue sharing.
Exactly,
so
everybody has
same problem we've been having. We still need NIL money.
Still got to have it. Yeah,
revenue sharing is great, but these kids are just going to get more expensive. I'm not sure how you guys think this is going to go. Yeah. It's not just going to be, we have revenue sharing now. Every player is going to cap out. No, they're not. They're going to keep asking for more money until everyone is just completely dry. It's just how it's going.
Do you think, so again, kind of reading what Kyle says here, do you think Bobby takes over? Yeah. So again, I do have a video on this. There is a path there. I just don't think it happens. And again, go watch the video. I think I do a decent job of breaking down how I think you could get there. but I just don't think Arkansas takes that path. They're gonna, if they were to fire Pittman, they're gonna take a shot. They're gonna take a run at Rhett Lashley, 10,000%. He's from Springdale. He went to school here. Like, of course they'd be crazy not to at least try to gauge his interest. And if you hear, let's go down this road for a minute. So they fire Sam, okay, and the next thing you know, you don't hear Rhett Lashley's name being mentioned anywhere. Don't think that doesn't mean that they didn't at least reach out and gauge his interest. Like, that stuff rarely gets reported because it's all done through proxies, as I understand it, as I've had media members tell me. Like, you'd be shocked the proxies they actually do reach out to. So,
Hogball is dropping bangers in chat.
He is. He's going to break a record for how many times I've posted his comments on the screen here. We go after Rhett and end up with Butch.
Life champions, baby. I was thinking Butch Jones. That's the Arkansas State guy, right? I was thinking Butch Davis, the old man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's Butch Davis.
Coached at North Carolina.
Yeah, super old.
Yeah.
I can see that. I heard a rumor before we hired Pittman, I think, that they were going to get Butch Davis.
By the way. And by the way, Butch Davis is a he's got connections to the state.
Because that's what we need.
If you really want to, really.
I want some a-hole from New York knows how to coach football. Let's go. I don't care.
Dang, I didn't know he was. I looked him up. Butch Davis, 73 now.
He's really old.
I did not know that. I thought he was like maybe 68, 67.
Jeremy said Jeff Traylor will be our next head. That would be all right. I would be okay with that.
Oh, man. Yeah. And there you go. Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds upon hundreds of 5-star reviews. You can go look them up on Facebook. Better than the past. Baby.
We broke 1,000.
Did you do it?
Yeah, we're like 1,017 now.
Yeah, you guys broke 1,000. There we go. Yeah. So I can say that now. 1,000 total 5-star reviews, right?
Boom, boom, boom.
There it is. 501-244-3667. That's the number of DSO, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Link is also provided for you down below. And they have their page on Discord as well. So if you need their services, do your thing. Do we have time to try and see if someone wants to call in or not?
I'm good. Yeah, let's go. I'm free. My wife's working. I would just be playing GTA right now if I went on here with you.
Well, I was going to play Expedition 33, but the game's starting to piss me off. So
yeah, I just play mindless games, GTA, Fortnite, stupid stuff. You play important games, it sounds like.
No, not really. It's kind of just dumb fun. It's like, it's turn-based combat, but it's really not that, challenging.
I never even downloaded Helldivers. I don't know why.
Dude, Helldivers was so fun.
I heard it was sweet. I've beat every Batman game, so I got that going for me.
Oh, man, those are great, too. Have you played the Spider-Man games?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the second one is so good. Hey, you guys click the link if you want to join, if you want to hop on.
Unless you're a pansy.
Well, I tell them all the time. They tag me. They DM me, Ty, make it a call-in show. Make it a call-in show.
Where's John Halls at?
And then I do it, and I even offer XP, and they still don't call in.
I demand XP. I didn't get my spin today either. Damn it.
Oh, we haven't done spins.
Oh, sweet. I didn't miss it. We should do spins after this.
870 tagged me today, and
the best part of my day, bro.
I know, and it's gotten to the point where people are like, tagging me.
Do you do those every day?
Not every day. We call it the semi-daily spin.
Got it. It's the win.
I'd call in, but we can't be doxing. Well, just make sure you're not somewhere that can give your location away.
Just put on a voice thing like,
"Hey, this is Hogball."
You need to be a regular in here, man. I think you'd have a lot of fun. Hogball.
Yeah, bro. And Discord. Discord's lit.
Yeah, Discord is pretty lit. I know there's like 500 now Arkansas Discords, but
I'm only on 2 of them, and I just joined the other one.
We're one of the first.
First OG.
And we,
look at you.
We actually have rules, though, right? Like, we actually will boot people if they're assholes, and we will deal with them.
They just DM me privately. They're like, dude, don't do that.
I'm late, so he's just gonna go in on some older stuff. Again, you could call in and we could talk about it, but yeah, we did talk about his bump. We did earlier in the show.
Yeah, with Courtney Mims, bro.
Yeah, we had Mims in here.
She's the one that really knows what she's talking about around here.
The Mimsinator. Yeah,
I forgot she was on here. This has been a long show.
Yeah. Oh! Look at here, Travis. We got one. I don't know if this is John Haas. It just says John, and I've got like 4 in Discord. What's up, John?
Yeah, but how many actually have the balls to talk to?
That's John Haas, baby.
We know who it is. It's John Haas. What are you doing, man?
Y'all can hear me good?
We can hear you great.
Awesome.
enough.
That's perfect. I'm making some cheeseburgers.
So many F-bombs coming.
Cal, get in the house.
Get her now. Get her.
So what's up, John? What you got? What you got?
I don't know. I was just listening to garbage. So he was like, call in. And I was like, I'll call in. I got shit else to do.
I'm calling in just for the XP, and then I'm going to hang up.
No, you know I don't do that.
I didn't offer any XP, but I could, but I mean, I still don't think it'd make much of a difference.
True.
He knows I'm going to be here.
Yeah, John's OG, and he's a mod, and he's always around. He might be lurking in the YouTube chat, but I know he's here.
True.
I actually had y'all on the TV, but
oh,
Cole
nice.
put on some stuff for the babies.
Oh, yeah.
Got to do that.
Hey, John, were you here for the part we talked about Sam Pittman being ranked 57th?
And like nationally?
Yeah, they have him ranked 57th among all. Now, this is among, and I didn't point this out, this is among all Power 4 coaches. They have him ranked 57th.
Dude, do you guys follow that Arkansas Razorback updates guy?
No, I don't. I'm not sure.
I think so.
He does like the most obvious tweets most of the time. He just tweeted, he said, breaking news, Adou Thiero is apparently keeping his name in the draft. Really? We know, dude.
Yeah, we covered that too.
Breaking
Hardball
news,
Burner
grass is
says
green.
Burner says he needs the Discord link. By the way.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm in that one too.
I'll drop it in a second.
Well, no, he needs the Tusk Talk Discord link.
Ooh.
I'll drop it in a second.
You mean Kevin McPherson's Burner?
How do I do this?
So 57th among all coaches. I already said my piece on it, but what do you think?
Tough.
That I could put 20 ahead of him, maybe off the top of my head.
Oh, just off the top of your head. You're not saying he's a legit top 25 college football coach, though.
No.
Okay.
No. I can't give him that until he does something better than what he's done.
Yeah, which is 8 wins. And be consistent, right? Like
Right.
4 win,
You gotta
4 win season.
maintain.
Yeah.
I give him grace, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but I give him grace on the Enos year because it was Enos, KJ was ass, the line was ass. You know, we're in a new era of college football with NIL and the transfer portal, and now we're paying these kids, and if you ain't paying up, you're not getting guys that's going to be good enough to compete against guys that are getting that.
He's stuck in a conundrum though, isn't he? Because let's be real, the reason why they didn't have money is because Sam just isn't a needle pusher. He doesn't push the needle for NIL to get a jump. And that's
never his job.
Right. I know I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it. But at the end of the day, it is on him, right, to at least put a better product on the floor. That Enos year, just as we mentioned earlier, absolutely did him in.
Yeah.
That
was the ball game.
What was that?
It was not good. Yadwa, what's up, bro?
It's hard.
Ew.
It's hard to do what your fan base wants you to do, and at the same time, your fan base isn't behind you. So if you want me to go, and I've given this analogy before. You took a technician and told him, you're my new CEO.
Yeah.
You can't take a
fair.
guy. You can't take a guy who's done my job. You know, I've been in this industry 18 years. You can't take a guy that's 18 years old and tell him, go take his place.
Yeah. You
can't do that.
Yeah, you're responsible now for all this NIL stuff, the portal. Like that did all get thrusted upon him. I agree with that. And like that's not what he or other coaches have signed up for. I agree with that. And so it's not all on him, but it's still on him because he's the head coach. It's a weird, kind of crappy position to be in. Oh my
I'm gonna
Lord.
put more of it on your check. I mean,
Uh-oh.
you sit here, you start talking about, oh, well, I can't.
Uh-oh.
I don't want these kids to get paid. Well, now look, don't nobody want to come to your school.
Uh-oh. You are Hog Blitz all along. I knew it. You're Hog Blitz. We got him.
No, I'm much prettier than that. But no, I mean, if I'm hiring you, Travis, if you come up and I got a guy and I want him to work for you, and he says, and you tell him, I'm not gonna pay you what you think you're worth. Well, guess what, Travis? I ain't coming to pick them damn garage doors for you.
That's super fair.
You know, if you people want to bitch and complain about Pittman, where does Pittman fall in the money in SEC coaches? 12?
Yeah, I think he was in the middle, is he not? You know, he got a nice bump and then he started losing, so it's hard to
kind of funny how that works out when you hire
performance pay. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name? The infamous agent that represents all
Maybe
the
Sexton.
Sexton. Yeah, it's kind of strange how that worked out, right? He hires Sexton, and all of a sudden he can't win games.
He says he hired Sexton just to get the connections too,
and that is true. And I have heard, that's again.
Drop that poor lady from Little Rock. What was her name? Jill or something?
Yeah, poor lady.
He did. She got him the damn job, and he's like, "Well, we'll catch you down the road, baby." And like,
but did she really get him the job though? Because if Sam had said no, Hunter was calling me next.
I think Travis Swanson got him the job.
Sam Pittman could maximize the bare minimum before the portal and NIL, but it's more of an environment of the game that has changed. And also, to be fair, other coaches have had to deal with it as well, and
Sam Pittman's got buzzard luck, though. Let's be real. You know what I mean? COVID, NIL, all this stuff popped up as soon as his first coaching gig. That sucks. And he coaches at Arkansas, and our scheduling person is an idiot. It's all bad.
I mean, most of the scheduling happened before Sam got here.
Man, fix something.
I was so excited going into the Enos year. What a letdown for me. I mean, listen, it's funny how many people act like they weren't excited about that hire. I mean, I know people that were excited about the hire that then, turned the corner entirely when they weren't getting the wins and said, well, yeah, I was never that excited about the hire. Bullshit. You were all about it until the wins didn't come.
I wasn't Bobby Petrino excited, but I was like, this could work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Petrino, I was like, whoa.
That's about where I was with it, because I saw what Enos did with Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
We tried to take credit for Jalen Hurts, I think.
Well, didn't he though? Right? Like, and didn't the Alabama media say that was kind of the case? That
just like Alabama though. Like Nick Saban coached the whole damn team. He didn't. Wow. You know what I mean? He didn't. He had his fingerprints on every part of that team.
Here's my question: who are the quality control guys? Right? Like every offense has a quarterback or a quality control, and they really have their hands in on what's going on. And
I swear to God, Butch Jones was on that staff.
3 hardest schedules in college football. I don't know.
Yeah, in a row, probably. It's crazy.
Kind of crazy. I do think it'll even itself out. Like something tells me, like Ole Miss not going to be as good, Tennessee not going to be as good, Memphis not going to be as good. But it's still like a daunting freaking schedule. Even with those teams, if they take a step back, right? It's still a daunting schedule.
Yeah. The way I see it is, Notre Dame's probably going to have a freshman quarterback. Ole Miss probably going to have a freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
Notre Dame don't even know who their quarterback's going to be yet.
You're bringing Aguilar from UCLA to compete in the SEC?
Yeah, it was a swap. Yeah.
I hope he sucks.
Watch him be fantastic.
Yeah,
it would just be. But he's not a freshman quarterback.
He's not a freshman.
All you need is a game manager to beat us for the most part. A game manager.
Oh,
I'm saying somebody who's competent enough to run the damn offense. You don't got to be an all-star to beat the Razorbacks for the most part.
Well, it depends on the year. Like again, that 2021 year, that team was stout. I think that was probably one of the better teams that they put on the field. I mean, obviously as good as
we had a bunch of old enough to be pro players on our team, all the super senior team.
Almost as good as what they did with Petrino in 2011. No, not quite, but in that tier of being like really good in 2021. Like that team, KJ in that offense with Kendall Briles, the defense for at least half that year was fantastic. You had playmakers on both sides of the ball. Oh, did we lose John? Then he hopped back in? Oh, we did.
I don't know. Quality depth matters, sir.
But, and like you said, too, they had super seniors on that team. That team was fantastic. That was a really good team. Then they turned around. They beat Penn State in the bowl. And the very last,
without Traylon Burks.
Yeah, without Traylon Burks.
It's crazy.
That team was good, and it really sucks that they only won 9 like that. I think any other year that's probably a 10-win team. Like that team was ridiculously good. Welcome back, John.
He's back.
Oh wow.
Oh hey, look at that. Jeremy Brigham said, I hope I'm saying your name right. I've known you forever, and I don't know how to say your last name.
Oh, you know this? You know Jeremy Brigham?
Yeah.
I don't see him either. Oh, there.
And he didn't even play at UCLA. He's really from App State. Yeah,
exactly.
I hope he sucks.
Yeah,
I hope he sucks so bad.
Oh,
and with Tennessee, I'm not really sold on their receivers anymore.
They had good receivers last year, and they lost a lot of them.
There's a lot of questions with. You could probably pick apart a lot of teams. The one team that I wonder doesn't build off of the momentum that they built last year was A&M.
I'm not worried about A&M.
A&M in Fayetteville, we already know like the money they spent on that team last year, right, or the year before last. I mean, they're putting up big dollars, right? This is College Station, like they're always going to have something, right? They're going to do something really good. If it's on the defensive line, it's their linebacker core, it's their secondary, their offensive line is stout. It's always something about A&M. No matter who the coach is, like they've always just got something up their sleeves. It's
oil money, baby. That's what they got up their sleeve. Oil money. Kelly Williams, no. Kentucky still has Mark Stoops because they're stupid. Although I'd be all right if we got him. Like, meh.
Let's hope Talon, the lights come on. I don't know that they weren't on last year, though, Angel. Like, again, I say this
for his life.
My God, I mean, he still had almost 3,800 total yards of offense.
You know when you make stupid decisions? When you're under extreme pressure.
And like I said before, one of the things I like about Talon is his ability to kind of make it up as he goes outside of the pocket. He showed signs he could throw the ball out of the pocket pretty consistently and do it pretty well. It's not his fault that, one of the best passes he made all year was when he veered out to his left and throws to a wide open Broden at the back of the end zone, and Broden drops the damn ball. It was a gorgeous throw. I don't remember how far. It was damn far, and it looked effortless on Green's part. He can make plays out of the pocket. He can kind of make it up as he goes. It's more like when he's in the pocket where you get a little nervous, right? He might make a mistake here or there.
They just need to get warmed up with some 10-yard outs. You know what I'm saying? Like something.
Well,
I don't trust him throwing an out route. I don't trust him throwing a wheel route.
Screens, man.
If it's not posts or digs, I don't want to see him throwing.
He couldn't even get enough protection to throw bubble screens last year. You know?
They definitely didn't throw. They definitely didn't throw a lot of. They didn't throw screens. Like I was looking at their screen pass attempts. It was like, if I remember right, I think throughout most of the year, it was the least amount of screen throws in an offense, which I did not see coming. I thought they're going to, especially when he's running for his life, I thought, well, they're going to draw some screens. They're going to figure this out. Receiver screens maybe, but I didn't see any more like screens, that were designed for the running back.
Hogball got a super point. Whenever you're done, finish up. My bad.
No, go ahead.
He said, I'm still laughing at the fact that Broden started over our highest drafted player. What kind of coaching malpractice is that, man? That's for real. What the hell happened?
That's a really good point.
You got one job as a CEO. Make sure shit doesn't go super bad.
Yeah.
That's it.
By the way, he does on PFF, he did finish with an 86, talking about Taylor Green, 86.6 overall offensive grade. Now remember, I also spend half the time when I talk about PFF, I also spend half the show shitting on him too. So
I was gonna say you hate PFF.
I have like a love-hate relationship with PFF. Like I'm still like some of these numbers, I'm just like, wait a minute, this isn't adding up. Like Broden, they only gave 6 drops on the year.
Okay.
Only 6 drops. I don't know that that's right. I think I counted he had like 3 in a single game.
Did he only get 6 passes?
No, Burton had a stupid amount of targets.
And also, according to PFF, there are only 16 total drops on the year, and there's no way that's right.
Would they get Taylor for 2 turnovers?
Yeah,
he only had 3 interceptions.
Well, again, when it comes to drops, I do know that they also, or it's kind of like a 50-50 thing where they'll either credit the DB or whoever for the pass breakup, and it won't count as a drop. And sometimes
those guys who fell asleep eating Subway sandwiches watching tape.
Yeah, but that's I've seen games where I thought for sure, oh, well, that's a drop. But then you look at the replay and no, the defensive back actually broke on the ball at perfect time. His contact forced the incompletion, so therefore it counted as a pass breakup, not a drop. So I think fans probably do the same. All the other fans, other people who watch these games and rewatch them probably come to a similar conclusion, like, oh, okay, that was a PBU, not an actual drop. That's the fault of the receiver. It's just that the DB made a good play on the ball. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but I swear they would. If I had to guess, they had like 25, 26 drops. But I mean, PFF says 16.
If we're basing it off like contact and breakups, isn't that every damn play of pass breakup?
Well, yeah, I mean that's their point, right? Like I know for a fact there. I think it might have been LSU, where they didn't credit Arkansas for any drops. 0. No, good God, John.
Bro, you got an old school microwave with a dinger in it?
I'm gonna have to like mute you, man. You're
That's
so
my air
loud.
fryer, bro.
Holy shit.
But LSU, they have no drops against Arkansas. Go back and watch that tape. I'm pretty sure it was LSU, where like it looked like Arkansas had a couple of drops. So if you go back and look, it was actually pass breakups that they gave credit to the DBs to. So maybe that's what PFF is doing. I don't know. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. Taylor Green has, I think he's got the capability of being a pretty decent dual threat quarterback who maybe can't make all the throws, but then can turn around and make big plays. That's what he is. And then he's also going to fumble the damn ball because that's what he does.
Yeah. I am excited to see 2 things. Number 1 is if this damn line can protect him better and if he's better behind the line protected. And then secondly, if he can, well, I guess there's 3. Secondly, if that impacts his decision making and fixes some of the stupid decisions he made, which I think it will. Yeah. And then 3, I want to see if he sharpened up under Bobby and what, you know what I mean? Like what he really.
Well, that is the question ultimately, right? Like it's year 2 under Bobby. Are we going to see that kind of? Development, that kind of improvement? According to PFF, he only threw 17% of his throws were beyond 20 yards. Now, to be fair, that's a lot of quarterbacks. In fact, you'd be surprised some of these numbers are actually lower for some really heavy passing offenses. So he threw for 827 yards off those deep throws, and he threw 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. His passing grade on throws at 20 or more is 92.6. That's really good. So, I mean, and that's something he's going to do. And by the way, his medium passing routes, he grades out at 91. That what's considered medium is anything between 10 and 19 yards, where he threw 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. And then he actually drops on short yardage throws. He drops down a little bit, where he's only completing it's actually a pretty good number, almost 75%. But he grades out at 64.1. And again, there's more that goes into their grading. Were those short throws touchdowns? Do they equate to some other thing that happened?
Yards, all that mess.
Yeah. So it's there's a lot that goes into how they grade these. But so again, he catches a lot of criticism, and it's like, and I'm not just talking about PFF, I'm talking about some fans. Oh my God, I gotta mute John. Holy shit, dude, it's so loud. My
Bro's doing dishes.
It throws me off, and I'm sitting there talking. I'm hearing him doing dishes. But like fans will throw a lot of shade at him. But if you actually, like, I can remember a good portion of the season where it was because of Green that they were able to do big things. And like you go back to the Tennessee game, that opening drive, you look at Oklahoma State, how he started that game off, right? Of course, it didn't fall into his favor as that game went on.
Man, I was coaching my kid's football game during the Oklahoma State game, and I'm on the sideline score checking.
Yeah.
And the other coach is like, "What's the score, bro?" And I was like, "We're kicking their ass, man. This is awesome." And when we went to US Pizza after, and I watched us lose that game in overtime, I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah. I think Green's got a ton of potential. I'm just gonna be real, I do think, and I'll go on the record. I don't care. You could bash me if I end up being wrong. I think he gets drafted. I think his athleticism, his arm strength, his ability to make throws without his feet even properly planted, he can make quite a few throws. Like we point out the wheel route that he missed, but I don't know, other than the one open wheel route that he missed, and that's a stupid throw to miss, but he missed it. I don't know how many other of those throws he missed. It might have just been a miscue between him and the running back. I don't remember who it was that ran that route. It might have been, I don't remember. It might have been Jaquinta Jackson. It might have been Braylon Russell. I don't remember who it was. He did miss it, though, and he missed some other throws that were head scratchers, and he threw behind the receivers, and he got better as the year went on at hitting receivers in stride. And I think that we need to point that stuff out. But also, it's okay to criticize him. You've got those fans out there that don't want any criticism of Taylon Green, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. He's got a lot to work on. Let's not sit there and act like he doesn't. But I think he ends up getting drafted. 7th round, maybe. I don't know, but I do think he ends up getting drafted. There's too much to like about him. I think there is some upside here, with the size, 6'6", 230. He might be a legit 4'4" guy, and he's got the arm. He's got a really strong arm where he's making throws not being properly, without his feet being properly planted. He could do some things. However, he's going to have, it's got to be a similar year to what he had, with more hopefully passing touchdowns and fewer turnovers, and also improving.
Just spread the damn ball out a little bit, man.
Yeah, not targeting anybody else was. I still wish we had a better answer.
I think it was his comforts. I have a pretty good answer for it. The terrible O-line and one guy you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
it's fairly simple. You know what I mean? And maybe he got better separation than everyone else. Seemed like it, right?
Well, Armstrong, if you watch, they posted a Tesla video. They posted a Tesla video on YouTube. Who the hell drafted him? Why am I brain farting on that? Who drafted him?
Who?
Tesla.
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit. They posted the video and the fans were going crazy. But if you go back and watch that video, he wasn't open. And that was his time in Arkansas. You can be fast and still not be a crisp route guy. I don't think he was a crisp route guy here. And I really believe Armstrong was the only guy that Green had confidence that he would catch the damn ball. So it might be a little bit of everything. And it's the same thing we could talk about with Luke Haz and Isaiah Centenia. But at the end of the day, if that's his only guy, then guess what? That's not unheard of that other teams do the same damn thing, that other quarterbacks don't just target that guy over and over again.
Everybody with Burks, it was his guy.
Man. Yeah, he was, absolutely.
But Burks caught it every damn time. Well, so did Armstrong, really.
Well, Burks' catch radius was insane. I don't know that I've seen a receiver at Arkansas with that kind of catch radius. You could throw that ball 8 feet behind him, and he was going to reach around and grab that
freak.
ball.
I missed that guy, man.
He was the ball wasn't going to get picked if you threw it in his vicinity. And odds were very high he was going to come down with that ball. I don't know his actual reception number. I don't have it in front of me. I'm sure I could find it. But it felt like you had all the confidence in the world when you had a guy like Treylon Burks. And guess what? Yeah, he caught a lot of targets. That's what you do.
Look like a pretty good quarterback.
He certainly did. To be fair, KJ did have a pretty similar year the next year without Burks. But
what did you see him at UCF though?
Oh yeah, it was bad. And definitely not what I thought would happen to him. Not that I thought he was a great quarterback, but I didn't see him falling on his face quite like that. But I don't. This year is going to be interesting. These are more like Petrino-esque type receivers. They're shorter. They're not 6'6", 6'5".
Little dudes.
These are a little bit smaller. They're faster. You've got 2 or 3 really good options inside the slot. They're going to have some speed. You've got Omega Blake. Sharp, the list kind of goes on. You got some interesting names. We'll see what happens.
Have you gotten any updates on Crutchfield at all?
Well, not since spring. I mean, spring camp's been over. So.
I just know people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Courtney Crutchfield was not. And I talked with Patreon members know all about this situation.
I just got to read that more.
Well, it's a video that I have. Yeah, I've been posting Patreon videos during spring camp. But yeah, he just wasn't breaking into the 2 deep, and that was definitely something that stood out. Don't write off Crutchfield, though. That doesn't mean he can't have a strong summer camp and then go into fall camp and just ball out, and then he makes his way onto the field, and who knows what happens. We got to remember he's a redshirt freshman. This isn't a junior a well-established, guy with a bunch of snap counts under his belt. He's still coming up, and I think
I see him play in high school. That is a strong kid, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, to not even be breaking the 2 deep is crazy to me. I'm just going, nah, here we go.
Yeah, I think Crutchfield's got potential. I just, it is a Petrino coached offense. You're not just going to walk in and get it right out the gate. And he certainly didn't do it with Drinkwitz at Mizzou either. So, give him a little bit of breathing room. People don't get all over him just because he didn't have a great spring camp.
I think everybody's afraid he's going to leave. You know what I'm saying? I mean, any player who doesn't play at this day and age, you're like, crap, they're going to leave next year. We won't even see the damn potential.
Yeah. I hope he sticks it out. And I who knows what happens beyond this year. Dank Arkansas high school football is bad, unfortunately.
He's got a point.
It's not good. The level of competition here, other than maybe like Fayetteville, Bentonville, Harbor off and on here in Springdale.
Fayetteville is the monster around here. They won the state championship last year. My buddy's kid was on the team.
They're good. I mean, they're, Casey Dick's crushing it. Shout out to Casey Dick, former Razorback quarterback. What a hit he laid against LSU to help Darren McFadden. Golly, I'll never forget that. His greatest play ever was just blocking for Darren McFadden down the field. Not a terrible quarterback, just never really fit in. But Warren, that's a good point. Warren is damn good. Wide receiver U of the state, baby. Produced.
Ogball said Cabot played wing T till 2020.
Yeah. Or little wishbone action. So we'll see what they do. We're going to talk about this every damn show. We're going to bring up football and this and that. And talk
we got time.
Yeah, it's definitely talking season. I've got all kinds of. You talk about opening the book. I'm going to look into. I'm going to start looking into these teams. I'm going to start my breakdown. I've got a depth chart that I need to publish in Patreon chat or one of those Patreon pages in Discord. Kind of give you some thoughts on that. But I'm going to open up the book on these other teams and get a little bit better bird's eye view on what's happening. We lose the top recruit every year anyways.
In the state? Yeah.
Don't listen, that's the exciting part of June. June is going to be a recruit heavy month. It always is. It's going to be a lot of visits during the month of June. I'm going to do everything I can to get that all, to try and stay on top of that. Whatever information I get, Patreon members will get it first. Whatever I can get my hands on, I'll get it to you guys in Patreon chat. And of course, we'll talk about them here on the Monday Night Lights live shows. Nebraska Junior High School Cabot.
I
don't know.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. So, I did my depth chart in February. Well, I'm doing mine. I'm getting mine pieced together. Like it's done. There's a couple spots I'm kind of switching back and forth on, but again, I'll get that uploaded into this Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon chat here soon. So you take Traylon Burke's cards as payment for Patreon.
Maybe.
You know what? We've been giving away, and that is a benefit. By the way, if you are a Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon member, if you're legendary status, you got a shot at winning one of these three bad boys right here. These are autographed. Sorry. Peyton Hillis autographed card right there, baby. You got to be legendary status. Mason Jones. Good Lord.
You trust your camera so much more than I do. I don't trust mine to focus if I put something in front of it.
It will eventually. Mason Jones, and of course, Daniel Gafford, who should have had a better run here. Daniel Gafford, autograph. So if you're a Patreon legendary status member, you'll have a shot at winning one of those three. The $8 right there. Look at that. Sudden impact, baby. Hopefully that shows up good. The lighting.
That's what she said.
The lighting isn't super great. But there you go.
Shout out to Kane Archer for going to UCF, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We didn't. Yeah.
We haven't talked about that one time yet because it's irrelevant. But, now. But, yeah, it's I was thinking about players leaving the state.
Oh, gosh. Listen, there's a player. We've talked about him before. They're trying to flip. I'll just, we've already mentioned him.
I know who it is.
Yeah, we've mentioned him before. So
boy, making the rounds, ain't he?
Well, yeah. Ain't Green and John Mateer the only two quarterbacks over 3,000 yards passing. You know what? That might be right. I know there wasn't more than as far as guys returning. I don't think that there were, but maybe 4 or 5 quarterbacks that had done that.
Damn. In a bad year. He did that in a bad year.
Well,
think about that.
It was a bad year. It was
last year?
Last year wasn't a bad year.
Yeah, it wasn't a good year.
6-6 is not a bad year. It might be disappointing. Anything below 500 is a bad year, right?
True. Did we get okay? We got to 6 before the bowl game, right?
Yeah, and they picked up their 7th win.
Okay.
Bowl game.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. It was. You could say it was disappointing, and that's completely fair. But I'll say this again to Jeremy's point. By the way, Jeremy, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being a part of the chat. Think about this. That's behind a bad offensive line. Things we already pointed out. A bad offensive line. Year 1 under Bobby Petrino in that offense, and with really maybe 2 capable receivers. Why Tesla wasn't more involved, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying there's potential there. I still think he gets drafted. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm going to get burned alive for.
Hogball Burner said the XFL has a draft, so you're probably right.
Hey, yeah, I didn't specify which draft, did I?
Get ready to learn from me, buddy.
Little Rock's got a team, right? Doesn't Little Rock have a team now?
I think so.
No. That's is that arena?
It's like arena football. Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Oh, what the hell is their name? Damn it! I follow them on Twitter.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's a cool name too.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. I saw them post on Facebook. I can't remember it. Maybe he does end up there. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
You never know. No, I think he ends up getting drafted in the NFL draft. I do. I think he's capable of it.
Are we talking free agent or are we talking 7th, 8th round? What are we talking about?
7th round, 6th or 7th round. I bet he goes. You can.
It's probably fair. I don't know. It depends on what quarterbacks are in it and who needs one.
Yeah. Well, PFF rated him. I think it was the top. He was the 10th, which isn't great, but the 10th draft eligible quarterback. I'm pretty sure.
10th
draft eligible quarterback.
He got some work to do.
So, I mean, listen, there's a possibility here. So, Diego Pavia had over 3,000 yards. I was comparing his numbers to Green's, and they're not as good. They're not as good.
He just has better wins.
To be fair, they he's at Vanderbilt, so it's not like he's surrounded with an insane amount of talent, but neither was Taylor Green. But if I remember right, and I love watching that dude play. That dude is so fun to watch at Vanderbilt. But his numbers, his passing depth numbers weren't as good as Green's. And he's similar in that he's a playmaker outside the pocket. He's a playmaker outside the pocket. So he did finish. Hold on. Well, now I'm on the subject. I don't want to look. Yeah, he finished behind on PFF as an overall quarterback. He finished behind. No. He finished ahead, but he had fewer yards. He finished with 2,200 yards.
Bobby just scrambled a lot, I think, didn't he?
2,290 yards. I don't know what his actual rushing stats were. Pavia was fun as hell to watch, though.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. Like I want him to be successful. I really do. And listen, Vanderbilt tore some folks up. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds, by the way. But Diago is him, bro. I'm going to root for him. Yeah, he threw for 2,293 yards. He had 20 passing touchdowns, but he only had 4 picks. And according to his ESPN numbers, he finished out at his QBR was 74.6. He completed 59% of his throws. Taylor Green completed 61%. So, potato. It is fascinating because he's shorter, but he is similar in a lot of ways to Taylor Green. That he can, And by the way, only sacked 18 times last year. 18 times. Let's look up Taylor Green.
It's like your O-line matters or something.
Yeah. What is Taylor? Come on.
Yes, everybody hit the like. We need lots of likes.
Taylon Green, you want to take a stab at how many times he was sacked?
Me? 17.
Taylon Green?
Yeah.
You think it was the same amount as Pavia?
Oh, was that Pavia's?
Pavia had 17.
No, Green had 27.
32.
Damn, I was close.
Now, to be fair, not all of those are on the offensive line. I know someone's going to point that out, and that is fair.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyways, that's it. We do appreciate you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe on your way out. I'm going to go eat some din din. Shout out to oh, look, the other Mike showed up. There he is. We got a couple of Discord people in here. Arizona Tim. Arizona Tim. What's going on, man? So excited for the regional. Yeah. Arkansas. Hopefully they can get out of their own regional this year, make a good run to the supers and then on to Omaha. So we will be back. Obviously the post game, I plan on doing a post game. It's postseason. I typically do. Hopefully you guys will show up for the post games. I enjoy doing them. So I should be available for Friday night. By the way, I'm going to end it on this. Tomorrow is my wife and I's 19th wedding anniversary. So I don't know if she's still watching or not. I know she pops in and out, but great 19 years. Hopefully we get 19. Hopefully. Hopefully we make another 19. But to my wife, Sarah, love you. You're a great mom, great wife. Really, it's been great. I can't believe I was 22 when I got married. But hey, man, it's awesome. We've built a life together. So, and you know what? She's got to put up with all my antics, and God bless her for that, right? God bless her. This one's well, I already drank it all, but that's there you go. All right, I appreciate everyone. Again, follow Dank on Twitter, and make sure you follow Tusk Talk with Ty on Twitter.
Glad I pressed that button, dude.
Yeah, that was great timing, my friend. I'll see you guys later on in the week. Go Hogs.
Peace.